Indie Author Lab from the Alliance of Independent Authors is a brand new in-person event for indie authors during London Book Fair Week. Taking place in London on March 11, 2026, it's a full day of mentoring, workshops, and community connection. Created for indie authors by indie authors. Learn more and secure your tickets at selfpublishingadvice.org/indieauthorlab. Welcome to Self-Publishing with ALLi, proudly sponsored by Publish Me, helping indie authors succeed globally with expert translation, tailored marketing, and publishing support. From first draft to international launch, Publish Me ensures your book reaches readers everywhere. Visit publishme.me. And now, here's your host for Self-Publishing with ALLi, Dan Holloway.
Hello and welcome to the Self-Publishing News. And today we are talking mainly about prizes. Everyone loves a prize, especially one that we are able to enter and stand a chance of winning and is worth winning. And one of the most celebrated prizes in the indie scene over the past few years has become the Selfies Awards. So the Selfies were started back, I think about a decade ago. I remember being at the first ceremony at London Book Fair and thrilled that ALLi's very own Jane Davis was the winner there, and I've been reporting on them ever since. So they are awards set up specifically for indie authors, and they celebrate the very best of indie authordom. And one of the interesting factors about the Selfies is that they are specifically they look for quality. They're not voter based. They're not a popularity contest. They run on the lines of other literary awards, and they are very, very much a celebration of the pinnacle of indie achievement. And what is new this year is that they are no longer simply a UK-based award. They are open globally. So, as they put it, submissions for the Selfies Book Awards are accepted from all authors internationally who have self-published, i.e. they have acted as both author and publisher, and in any one of the three current categories. So this is adult fiction, children's books, or memoir. And books need to have been published between January the 1st last year and December the 31st. And very quickly, a timeline. Entries are open until the 31st of March, and the winners will be announced on the 1st of July, the shortlist on the 19th of May. So those are dates I will have in my diary. Very much look forward to reporting on the winners of those awards, wherever in the world they are from. So, great news about an award dedicated to indie authors opening itself up to even more indie authors across the world. Do go and check that out. If it's not quite for you, or if you have other strong feelings about prizes, that brings me to my second story, which is that Publishing Perspectives has launched a major survey which essentially asks the question, what do you want from book prizes? So this is looking specifically at international prizes, so prizes that are open to people in more than one country. And it's an interestingly constructed survey. The basic, as I say, what they want to know is the high-profile prizes that are out there. What are they doing well? What are they not doing well? If there were new prizes, what would they ideally do that existing prizes don't do? And which of the smaller prizes out there, or the less recognised prizes out there, are ones that actually matter to the people who matter? So whether you are a reader, a publisher, an author, or indeed all of those things, as most of us are, then there is something that this survey wants to hear from you. It wants your input. It wants to know, as you fall into those categories, what is it you find helpful or not helpful about those things. So I've been through the survey. It does ask some very interesting questions. So it lists a lot of current prizes, asks you to select ones you've heard of most. Importantly, it also asks you what prizes could do to appeal more to you as an author, how well you feel the prizes support you, and then, as I said, it asks you to add other prizes that matter to you. So, for example, the Selfies is not on the list, so that is something that one could bring to their attention as a prize that means a lot to us as indies. So, that's prizes. What else has been happening in the news? So, Libro, or is it Libro FM. This is the audiobook subscription service, and they have now rolled out an annual subscription plan. So what they do is they essentially work on the same lines as and in partnership with bookshop.org. That is to say, they are an audiobook platform. You buy an audiobook through them, and then a slice of the price can go towards a local bookstore of your choosing. So it's very much designed to help indie bookstores. Wherever you're based in the world, you can help the bookstore you want to help. As exactly the same model as bookshop.org, and they are partnered with bookshop.org. So until now, they hadn't had an annual subscription plan. Now they have. It costs $149.99 in the US, £94.99 in the UK, and for that you get 12 credits a year. There is a limited time offer of a 13th credit for those who subscribe early. All of your credits will roll over, so you don't get 1 credit a month and then it goes at the end of the month. You get 12 credits a year. A couple of other things of interest that have been going on. So first, and this is a story that's been covered a lot on the BBC in the UK, is the Irish Basic Income campaign. So this is basic income for artists. It launched in 2022. It gave around $1,500, £1,100 or €1,300 annually to 2,000 authors. That was a pilot. It's still going. It was deemed a great success, and it is now being rolled out on a permanent basis from this year. And the other thing that is happening is that Scotland is now looking at introducing a similar scheme because they've been so impressed with the success of the Irish scheme. So that's a scheme that was open to artists of all kinds, including writers, including indie authors, I believe. And it was basically, there were 2,000 people. You applied to be part of it, and those who were part of it were selected by lottery. Details of how the full scheme will operate, I will report on when I have them. But an interesting development that this isn't dead in the water. It is very much a scheme that has been seen to have succeeded. And finally, on the subject of the Anthropic lawsuit, very interesting post, thank you to Jane Friedman for the link, which suggests that Anthropic haven't just been using pirate libraries. So we know that they've been using pirate libraries. This is what the lawsuit was all about. And if you'll remember, this is what the judge deemed they needed to pay settlements for, not because they were using copyrighted work, but because they had got that copyrighted work from pirate libraries. They have been, and I think as the author puts it, may still be buying books at retail price. So this is something that the judgment didn't stop them doing and didn't say was naughty. They may have bought, it seems, 1 million titles at retail price, destroyed those books, turned them into, or put them into the training system for Claude, then destroyed the book. This was considered fair use by the judge in the original case, but it is interesting. There is now clear evidence. A lot of this is happening. The bit that is interesting to me is the rationale they gave, which is that they want not just things that have been selected by critics to be the pinnacle of culture, but they want all the titles in order to make their language model representative. But they put a big caveat on that, saying that they were not particularly targeting self-publishing or self-published books. So there are so many layers in that. There are so many things in the story that one could take issue with. And the comment about self-published authors is one that one could take many of those issues with. I will simply leave you with that. I don't want to get onto a hobby horse. There are so many hobby horses I could get onto with it that I'm not sure which one I would. So I'll simply leave you with it to ponder, and with that, look forward to speaking to you again at the same time next week. Thank you.
You've been listening to Self-Publishing with ALLi, proudly sponsored by PublishMe, helping indie authors succeed globally with expert translation, tailored marketing, and publishing support. From first draft to international launch, PublishMe ensures your book reaches readers everywhere. Visit publishme.me, and if you haven't already, we invite you to join our association and become a self-publishing ally. You can do that at allianceindependentauthors.org.